Welcome back to LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today we're going to do a breast cancer survivor cup. This cup is going to have peekaboos, it's going to have HTV glitter iron-on, it's going to have a little bit of everything. We're going to throw the kitchen sink at this one and have a lot of fun. So we've got this cup prepped and ready to go. We've sanded it with 320 grit. We've base painted it in black. We are going to be using the glitter colors Finn, Jet, and Vader. Vader is our holographic black, and Jet and Finn are from our fantasy collection. They color shift between pink and purple. They're absolutely gorgeous. So let's just jump right in. First, we're going to start by adding a spray adhesive. You can use any spray adhesive that's repositional. There's Krylon Easy Tack, there's Scotch Spray Mount, all kinds of different brands. I'm going to go ahead and use Krylon Easy Tack for this one and spray adhesive all over this, and then we are going to go ahead and add our black Vader glitter. All right, so now we have this cup totally coated in spray adhesive. Again, it's a repositional spray adhesive, and now we're going to take Vader and we are going to sprinkle Vader down on the cup. Vader is the black holographic. He's going to look amazing as a base for this tumbler. We're going to burnish him down to get that full prismatic rainbow out of it, the spectrum. All right, and I can see we have a little tiny glitter contamination, so we're going to get that guy out of there. All right, so tap off any of the excess. And then go ahead and start immediately. Don't pause or wait with your spray adhesive. Just immediately start using your finger to burnish it down. You can also use a burnishing tool to do this portion and lay the glitter flat. What your goal is here is just to get that glitter laying nice and flat on the surface of your cup. Some glitter will fall off your cup. That's okay. That's the glitter that was standing upright, and you don't want that. You want all your glitter to lay flat. So when you burnish and you rub in a circular motion, you are laying that glitter down flat onto that spray adhesive, and that's where you're gonna really get that rainbow to show through on the tumbler. Tap off any of the excess as you go. And like I said, right when you spray the spray adhesive, you wanna start moving. You wanna get that glitter laid flat right away. If you pause and wait too long, the spray adhesive, even though it's repositionable, it will start drying up a little bit, and it will make it a little bit more difficult to get some of the excess glitter off, and you won't get the full look. So we're just going through one more time and just kind of brushing off anything left over that's not supposed to still be there. I get asked, I get asked a lot that there's glitter falling off. Is that okay? And yes, that is what is meant to happen in this process. Portions of the glitter will fall off the tumbler as you rub it on. So now you get the full rainbow effect on the tumbler. All right, so now we've got him burnished down, and you can see that just gorgeous rainbow coming through. This is indoors, and you can see even with the indoor lighting, you're getting that beautiful rainbow on the tumbler. Outside in the sun, this is just gonna like explode and pop right off the base of that cup with color. It's gonna be just absolutely incredible. This color is Vader, and he's gonna be the base of this cup. All right, so now we're gonna take this gorgeous cup and we're gonna take it outside and spray a coat of clear, Rust-Oleum clear spray over the top to hold the glitter in place and let it completely dry. All right, so the Peekaboo part is gonna say this is gonna be our decal that's gonna lay down over the top of the black Vader. Then once we're all done with that, we're gonna be putting Finn and Jet over the top with our HTV heat transfer vinyl shadowing over the layers once we pull away our peekaboos. It's gonna be awesome. So what we're gonna do next is get epoxy going over the top of Vader so we get a nice smooth surface to be able to lay down all of our decals on. So let's get cracking. All right, so now we're gonna epoxy the tumbler and get it ready and get a nice smooth surface on it so we can add our Peekaboo decals. We're gonna put our work mat underneath. This is a nice big silicone work mat. It keeps all the epoxy drippings from sticking and making a mess everywhere. Epoxy does not stick to silicone, so if a little epoxy drips here and there, tomorrow after it's dried, we can just peel it and pop it right off. So we're gonna take out our scale and we're gonna mix up our LittleLee and Rose epoxy. Right after I get all my PPE gear on, I'm gonna put on my nitrile gloves and my chemical respirator, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna measure out in grams. So for a 20 ounce tumbler, I use around 20 grams of epoxy. There's part A and part B. This one needs just a twitch more, this one. Okay. Then we are going to put our pin down in the cup. We're going to grab our epoxy mixer, put it in the mixer, and let it spin for about 3 minutes. And get that epoxy all mixed up with very, very low bubble. The epoxy mixer does wonders for keeping the bubbles out of the epoxy. So we're just gonna let that cup rock and roll for 3 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got the epoxy, it's nice and mixed up. We can go ahead and take it out of the mixer and turn the mixer off. What I like to do when using these bigger cups for mixing is I go ahead and cut it down so I don't waste any epoxy that while I pour it out of the cup. So I just cut the top of the cup right off. You can then take the pin, use a baby wipe, pull it out of the epoxy, and clean the epoxy off. Get every little bit off that pin. Save it, save it, save it. Use it for your tumbler. All right, and we're just going to take that pin, put it inside the baby wipe, and clean it off. This epoxy is available on our website, LittleLeeandRose.com. All right, so now we've got our epoxy, and we're just going to start applying it right here. And you will watch as we do this. It goes from a matte finish, from the matte finish spray paint that's holding the glitter all in place, to having this beautiful rainbow on that black surface, and goes right back to being shiny. We're just going to swoop it around the cup. Make sure it's all the way coated all the way around, nice and smooth. We don't need a big, thick, heavy coat. We just want just enough to make this have a smooth surface for our decals tomorrow. Using the silicone brush to push and move the epoxy all over the tumbler. Making sure it's coated from the top to the bottom. And this is why I love our epoxy. You can see I was touching this cup with my bare hands. I didn't need to worry about fingerprints or anything on the tumbler. Our epoxy just sticks right onto these cups and does just a beautiful job. Even at humidity, it works gorgeous. It is pretty much your all-around easiest epoxy you'll ever work with. Low bubble, you can see there's absolutely no micro bubbling here whatsoever. Perfect and beautiful. It is self-leveling, so even if it looks like it has a little raised area here or there, as the cup turns, that will smooth out and go away, and everything will go perfectly flat and smooth onto the tumbler as it cures up. So we're just going to let this one cure up. We're going to let it roll overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow. All right, so now we've got a full layer of epoxy over the top of our beautiful Vader glitter, and we've got our decal ready to go. We are going to place the decal face down on some transfer paper, and we're going to use a squeegee to go ahead and press that decal right into that transfer paper. Okay, and then we're going to cut the transfer paper. Some people prefer the transfer paper with lines, some people prefer it without. I've used it both ways. I don't actually even have a preference. I just buy what is inexpensive, and I got this roll off Amazon, really inexpensive. Because especially this one, it doesn't matter. I think we're gonna put this one on crooked because it'll look cool. Just blast it on there sideways. Remember, this is just going to be a peekaboo. So we want to take this. I'm actually gonna take this decal and I'm gonna stick it to my shirt and peel it away and stick it to my shirt just so it's not as sticky, so it's a little bit easier to remove when we go to peel it away. And we are going to, I always go center down first, and then I lay one side down, and then I lay the other side down. And I'm gonna take my squeegee and I'm gonna make sure it's well pressed onto the cup. Because you don't want the paint, when we go to do a layer of paint over the top, you don't want the paint going underneath it. Okay, and then we're going to lift up the transfer paper. I re-stick my transfer paper back to the roll, especially if it's a large piece like this, because you can use it more than once. Sticking it back to the roll. Okay, so now what we're going to do with this one is we're going to go outside and we're going to be using two different colors on it. First, we're going to base paint it in white, and then we're going to get it base painted in white, and then we're going to spray paint the bright neon pink from Rust-Oleum over the top. The reason I'm base painting white first is so that the pink really pops. If I tried to put the pink over this black, just like this, the pink would really mute out because it is kind of a transparent pink. It is not an opaque pink. So by giving it a white base, it's gonna help that pink just really explode off that white paint. So that is the thought process behind doing two coats of spray paint in different colors. The white first, let it completely dry. You also wanna make sure that the white is in fact completely dry before you spray your pink, because if the white is not completely dry, what's gonna happen is you're gonna spray your pink on there, and as the white is drying underneath, and because the pink will dry very, very quickly, just the nature of this brand, this style of paint, the neons dry really quickly. And so it will dry faster than the white paint underneath. So when it dries on top and then the white paint dries underneath, it will actually pull the hot pink away and apart and crack the white paint. Now, if you're going for a crackle look and you want that kind of look, that's what you want. You go ahead and spray paint your white, let it sit for about 3 minutes, and then spray paint your pink over the top and you will get a cracked look. But for this tumbler, I do not want a cracked look at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the white, let it completely dry, and then go back and spray the pink. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so now we've got the white spray paint base down and we've got the hot pink spray paint down. You can see how vibrant that hot pink is. If we had put this right down on the black, it would definitely not be this vibrant. Matches my nails. So obviously I love this color. So we are going to go ahead and put spray adhesive on this all around, and we're going to apply jet all over this tumbler, and we're going to burnish it down nice and flat so we get a lot of that. This is part of our fantasy series, and we're going to get a lot of beautiful color out of this glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Krylon Easy Tack. You can use really any repositional spray mount. I also happen to have Scotch spray mount repositional. Actually, Scotch has a couple different ones. It doesn't matter what brand you are as long as it says repositionable. So repositionable. So you want to just make sure it's a repositionable tack, and that's going to give you perfect stickiness for your glitter to grab on and hold on and apply. All right, guys, here I'm going to get it sprayed down. We'll be right back. All right, so now we're going to take jet and we're going to sprinkle it all over. And you're going to see that fantasy part come right out in jet with those electric purple hints, which are absolutely stunning. And one of the reasons it's one of my favorites, because it's two gorgeous colors in one. You get the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hot pink along with that beautiful fluorescent neon-ish purple tint to it. I'm going to now take my parchment paper. It's got a nice fold in it. And I can just slide my glitter back into the bag and add a second layer. And keep going around. Now keep adding that layer. Sorry, I said second layer. I did not mean that. First layer, finish off that first layer. Sprinkle it along the bottom. We don't need to focus too hard on the bottom because we are gonna take thin and ombre thin up from the bottom. But what you're gonna do is right when you get your glitter start applied, then you're gonna go and you're gonna start your burnishing. And you're gonna take your finger in a circular motion and you're gonna rub in a circular motion with gentle pressure. And some of the glitter is gonna knock off and fall off. And that's okay. It's the glitter that was standing upright. What we wanna do is lay this glitter down nice and flat, and that's gonna give you like a high flash sparkle. Now you can do, most burnishing is done with holographics as the most commonly seen. But it looks amazing with fine metallics and this fantasy series that we carry on our website. It just gives it that extra like super sheen, gorgeous shine. But like I said, you can see that some of the glitter does fall off, but you can also see like the radiant sparkle come out of there. So pretty much anytime I have a fine glitter, I like to burnish it down and just see if I can get any more, like maximize the glitter. Tap off anything left over. Run back through it, make sure it's all laid down flat. As long as you move quickly, after applying that spray adhesive, it's still very tacky and it will grab the glitter and hold on to the stuff that's laid flat, and only the stuff that falls off will be the stuff that was sticking up, and you're just knocking it off and getting it out of the way. All right, so now we're gonna set this off to the side. And we're gonna put that one back in there. Okay, now we're gonna add our fin. Fin is kind of like Jet's big brother. It is basically the same color, but in a much larger cut. And we're gonna open this bag of it. If you've never opened a bag of LittleLee and Rose glitter, you just take your scissors right below the Ziploc line and slice with your scissors, and it leaves you with an intact bag, nice and easy to open and close, and you just pop it open. So we have fin. So you can see fin is it's bright pink and has the same beautiful purple sheen to it. So you can see here where we're getting that like incredible shine off of jet with the purple, but it's actually a fluorescent pink color. So it's just quite amazing what this glitter can do. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna now take my spray adhesive again, and I'm gonna spray the bottom half of this, and we're gonna start applying thin along the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna go over my trash can, do a quick little burst of the spray adhesive along the bottom. And we're gonna go ahead and apply thin along the bottom. Make sure we get it on the butt. Then what I like to do, so I'm not constantly fighting with my glitter, is tap down everything right around the bottom edge. Because if it's not smooth along that edge, you're gonna be fighting that curve with epoxy to get it smooth. So this is kind of like the little tip, is just go ahead and with your finger, just tap down right along that edge and along the bottom, so you're not fighting it. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our finger and do the same idea as the burnishing, but we're gonna tap. And we're just gonna tap, 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 tap the chunky glitter down. And we're gonna go all the way around the cup. And lay thin down nice and flat. Some, again, same as with burnishing methods, some will fall off because it's stuff that would have wasn't really attached on there well anyway. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our glitter duster. I love the glitter duster because it's so gentle, and we're just gonna dust along the edge, and it's gonna help kind of ombre that finish in there. A little bit of glitter, a little bit of the fin will come off, but not in droves. It will just be just very gentle, and it's gonna give you a real nice ombre line with that chunky glitter. Okay. Now it would be up to you at this point if you want to add a second layer of fin around the bottom. You can do more spray adhesive and do a second layer of fin and pat it down. I'm going to stick with one layer because I think it looks beautiful, and I don't want fin to overtake the tumbler. I just want to be a nice added bonus, but that is just a personal preference for where you would, what you like, and if you want more than one layer or two layers, or if you want it to be really, really vibrant and have more chunk. All right, so we're gonna let this guy sit for just a few minutes. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a clear coat spray paint over the top. I'll probably let this sit for about 15 minutes, then do a layer of clear coat spray paint over the top, and then we will be back and we will start removing those decals and revealing that beautiful Vader glitter behind it, the holographic black. Okay, so now we're gonna remove all the decals and start revealing the black glitter underneath. This is the fun part. I already love it.
Sorry, that was not like for anything other than I just moved.
All right, there we go. Slow and steady as she goes. So you can see I'm just using my weeding tool, my weeding tweezers. These are amazing and so great to work with when you're trying to remove these little detailed decals because those fine point tip gets right in there. Sorry, that's stuck on there. Gets right underneath and helps lift it up. And just grab it for you. We have these weeding tweezers on our website, always available. And our website ships free to the USA. So the base underneath there is Vader. He's our holographic black. So in the sunshine, the rainbow that's gonna pop out of that glitter is gonna be incredible when we're not just under these studio lights. And then over the top is Jet, and then down on the bottom is Finn, layered up to give us that awesome, you know, breast cancer pink awareness color. And I love this tumbler because it's a breast cancer tumbler, but without being the obvious, you know, I'm a survivor tumbler. It's just a fun one, and it's got a little unique flavor to it. If you have a hard time finding the decals underneath the spray paint and glitter when you're working with these, all you need to do is take a little bit of hot glue and make little dots on top of the pieces of vinyl, so that the little hot glue dots poke up and you can easily find your decals. So like when you get down in here with the chunky, I can see it just fine, but if you're using certain chunkies, it does get very difficult to see. So you can just have those little hot glue dots and you just mark it, and then it's much, much easier to find your vinyl underneath. All right, so we're gonna go finish up this decal and we'll be right back. All right, so now we've got all the decals removed. You can see that super beautiful black glitter shining through there with the holographic rainbow in it. And just Finn, it just explodes. This cup is just eye-catching. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna do one more coat of clear coat spray paint over the top and let it completely dry. And then we're gonna go ahead and start getting some epoxy on this tumbler.